Hello folks, what we're looking at is Gator's beef of the week, and we're not talking bull here. I just want to show you what happens when big companies buy each other, and this is a perfect example. I can think of through my life different instances where this has happened, and well, even for the businesses it's not a good thing, but when they do that, when one big business buys another, we're going to talk about paint companies. Here in Canada it's called Sico, and the next company, and these two companies are distributed by, and probably not only them, by Lowe's. And Sico, which was a major brand for quite a while, got bought out Olimpic stains, and that was a brand. I remember when I was young, I used to work for a paint shop, like the construction painting, and all the stains outside were all Olimpic. So the results of one buying the other, they've decided to standardize their stains, okay, here's an example of this stain. I know it's not clean, but see that? And look here. See that two different colors here? That's because, and these are identical numbers. What happened is, and see, I cut all the along the building here. I cut it, and I had a gallon of the old stain, and this I rolled, which was the new stains. I thought there was just a difference in color because it wasn't the same dryness, not. I ended up going to the store. See, it's still the same, all along the building, and so I got discouraged, and okay, see this part here, I did this afterwards, okay, 1 week later. I did it this week, as a matter of fact, so I'm gonna wait, see if it weathers to the same color. I don't know, I don't know what to say about this staining outfit. We're gonna just sit myself down here. I must say that the guy at Lowe's hooked me up with the rep, and the rep came good in a way. He mixed. It cost I don't know, Sico probably, not Olimpic, because Olimpic doesn't exist anymore. It still exists, but it's part of Sico. So he mixed 4 different gallons, and the 5th one, it was close. It was very, he gave me that gallon. He says, go try that, and if that works, I'm going to mix a 5-gallon to replace the 5-gallon that you got that was a muffed up color. But see, I had bought that, and I had a cover of the original gallon, and I brought that so that they'd mix it. I mean, if it's the same, like Olympic's Olympic, and if it's the same number, it's going to be the same color. Well, it wasn't a big difference, as a matter of fact. And that, well, as you could tell there by the colors. But with a lot of trouble. I went to Lowe's 3, 4 times to redo. I got a gallon. I come back here. I tried it out. Then went back there. I told them it was all right, and then I went back again, and to meet with the paint rep. See, that's one step. Really, it's not the paint. I didn't really have to meet with the paint rep. It's Lowe's that were responsible to me, and they were really responsible to deal with the paint rep. But that's not what they did. They, anyways, they had me deal direct. They said so they wouldn't be on the hawks for a 5 gallon, but hey, you know, like I know paint's paint, but is this a hawk up in the air? Hang on, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's in behind the tree there. Anyway, see that smog? Yesterday you could hardly see on the far side of the lake. It was foggy, or it's smoke from fires up north, and the wind was coming from the north, so I don't know. Anyways, okay, so that's it. It's a gripe, but Lowe's come good, Lowe's or Sico, but it's just to show that the big companies buy other companies just to get their share of the market, but it doesn't always turn out to be the best for the consumer. Eh? You end up with the short end of the stick. Very rarely will it be to your advantage. It's more often it's to the advantage of they're cutting the competition. That's what they're doing. And I've seen this. These guys have time. Just permit me, just a little story. Has to do with toilet tissue, toilet paper. I used to, when I was young, White Swan, which was owned by Eddie's, they had a secret. Their secret, I'm not going to tell you the whole secret, okay? Just part of their secret was they used to blow air in through little holes into the paper, and it has it before it's totally dry, so then it fluff up, right? Well, that's what their secret was. And then Kimberly Clark bought Eddie's, the division, facial and toilet tissue, and their secret for Kimberly Clark was they had a kitchen, they called that a kitchen, and they'd be mixing, I'm not gonna tell you their big secret, but they had a few things that they'd mix into the stock, the craft, before they put it on the machine, and that would make it fluff up. And so they decided to do this big disaster. Ooh, the wind's coming up. The wind is going to change, I guess. It's not the same as yesterday. Yesterday, you probably could have cooked an egg on the deck here. It was so warm. But now, ooh, that wind is, well, I guess it's off the lake, and the lake is still coolish, let's say. Anyways, their kitchen stuff cooked on there was a big roll. The roll was about 20 feet, 25 feet high, big round roll, and that's what they'd blow the air through the paper, eh? But they coated, they end up their kitchen stuff coated on that, and they were over a month grinding and scrubbing and I don't know what else, just to get it to come back to what it was before. Okay, That's Kimberly Clark buying, but Kimberly Clark through they call that here in Canada the competition, the Combines Act, ended up they bought it, but they ended up they had to sell it because they were too much. They were buying out the competition and eliminating it by buying out EBETIs, so they had to sell to somebody else. They ended up selling to Scott Paper, and Scott still owns it, I think. So Scott ended up with the two secrets. They call that a Yankee dryer, okay, which they blow the air through, and the kitchen secret. Anyways, and it cost them a lot of money. And I don't think the paper's any softer than it was, but see, so they don't always gain. But they bought out like I think in the facial and the tissue, toilet tissue, what they do is they buy the shelf space, eh? Like stores have so much shelf for a certain product and so much shelf for, so the company will put out two different names, but it's made by the same company, and they still do that. I know Costco distributes Scott Paper, and I think they obsoleted the White Swan. They still make the paper. I recognize the embossing, but of the paper, but it's all Scott Paper now. I don't think they anymore White Swan, which was the EBETI brand. Anyways, that's a long-winded episode, eh? Just for a little bit of steam from Olimpic. But okay, Lowe's came good. Now I have my 5-gallon, and I'm gonna use it next year. This I can't. The black flies are still amongst us. They're probably on the last leg because with the heat that we got there, they must have suffered a lot. Yeah, I can't redo because if I paint another time on this stain here, the stain separates. It doesn't adhese. It just separates. Eh? So I'm just gonna have to scuff it another time, but I can't scuff this paint because it's not dry enough yet. So I gotta wait till autumn or till next spring. I'll scuff it again and give it another coat. So that's it, folks. Ooh, yeah, there is black flies. I can see them. And that's it for this one. So as usual, comments are welcome, and we'll see you in the next one.